The Monday, October 2nd, 2023 City of Vandalia Council Meeting is now called to order. We'll start with a moment of reflection, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Council, you had an opportunity to review the study session minutes of September 5th, the council meeting minutes of September 5th, the council retreat minutes of September 11th, and the council budget workshop minutes of September 14th. Are there any comments or corrections? Being none, they stand approved. We have no communications, petitions, and awards, nor do we have a public hearing, and that brings us to comments from interested citizens. So if anyone would like to make a comment, please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and your comment. Being none, we'll move on to the city manager's report, where we have some information items. Ms. Holloway.
Thank you. Beggar's Night, also known as Trick or Treat, will be held on Tuesday, October 31st from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We've seen some folks in the community asking about that, so we're looking forward to that. And then I'd also like to report that the Vandalia Fall Festival will be held on Saturday, October 14th at the Vandalia Art Park. The event will feature live music, food trucks, a pumpkin patch, and other vendors. All are welcome, and it is free to attend.
All right, thank you. And we have one action item, that's the Ohio Department of Liquor Control. Ms. Holloway?
Thank you. Ohio Department of Liquor Control has notified the City of Vandalia of an application for Family Dollar Stores of Ohio, LLC, doing business as Family Dollar Store 26197, located at 670 West National Road. The Division of Police has no objection to the new license, and a hearing is not recommended. I respectfully request a simple motion to not hold a hearing for the application at 670 West National Road.
Thank you.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Vice Mayor Lewis and a second by Councilman Farst to recommend the approval and not hold a hearing. All right. Call the roll.
Councilmember Woods,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Follick,
Yes.
Councilmember Farst,
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis,
Yes.
Mayor Herbst.
Yes, the motion carries 7-0. We have no old business, and that brings us to our first resolution of this evening, that being Resolution 23-R-62. Mr. McDonald?
A resolution amending the part-time pay plan for employees of the City of Vandalia, Ohio for the year 2024.
Thank you. Ms. Holloway?
Thank you. Staff is recommending the adoption of the part-time pay plan, which includes rate increases of 3.5% to all part-time positions for the 2024 year, except tipped employee positions. This proposal also includes advancing the classifications group of the group fitness instructor, camp supervisor, athletic supervisor, and camp leader to the next pay group based on a wage study that was conducted by the Department of Parks and Recreation. These changes were presented at the September 11th, 2023 Fall City Council Retreat. The increases are necessary to retain current employees and to attract new employees. Expenses relating to this increase are included in the 2024 budget. The wage for tipped employees was established in accordance with the State of Ohio Department of Commerce, which was released over the weekend. And as stated in the study session, those wages are reflected in your documents and in your council packet, but that wage has increased from $5.05 to $5.25. Approval of this new part-time pay plan aligns with our 2023 citywide policy goals of trust and confidence and opportunity. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you. Can I have a motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 23-R-62 as presented.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilwoman Farst and a second by Councilman Follick to approve Resolution 23-R-62 as presented. Are there any comments? Call the roll.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Follick,
Yes.
Councilmember Farst,
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers,
Yes.
Councilmember Woods,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis,
Yes.
Mayor Herbst.
Yes, and the motion passes 7-0. Next, we have Resolution 23-R-63.
A resolution amending the general services plan for employees of the City of Vandalia, Ohio for the year 2024.
Thank you. Ms. Holloway?
Thank you. Staff recommends a 3.5% increase to the pay ranges in the General Services Pay Plan for 2024. This increase is necessary to attract and retain high-performing quality employees. This proposal includes re-implementing the supervisory appointment of the Parks Maintenance Technician Supervisor classification to provide a formal first-line supervisor on the Parks Maintenance crews and Facilities Maintenance crews. All employees on these crews work under the classification of Parks Maintenance Technician. This change was presented at the September 11th, 2023 Fall City Council Retreat. Expenses relating to this increase are included in the 2024 proposed budget. Approval of the 2024 General Services Pay Plan aligns with our 2023 citywide policy goals of trust and confidence and opportunity.
Thank you. Can I have a motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 23R63.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Ayers and a second by Vice Mayor Lewis to approve Resolution 23-R-63 as presented. Are there any questions or comments? Call the roll.
Councilmember Follak?
Yes.
Councilmember Fairst?
Yes.
Councilmember Ayers?
Yes.
Councilmember Woods?
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis?
Yes.
Mayor Herbst?
Yes, and the motion carries 7-0. Next, we have Resolution 23-R-64.
A resolution waiving the formal bidding process and authorizing the emergency purchase and installation of a new sanitary and stormwater pumping system for the municipal building, requested by the Parks and Recreation Department from Heater Plumbing in the amount of $34,441.
Thank you. Ms. Holloway?
Thank you. The Parks and Recreation Department is requesting to waive the formal bidding process to proceed with the emergency replacement and installation of new sanitary and stormwater pumping systems at the municipal building due to the failure of the current system and the urgency at which to replace the system. Heater Plumbing provided a proposal for $34,441. Parks and Recreation states that this is a competitive price and this emergency action and that there is urgency to conduct these repairs. The current system is original to the building, with pumps receiving several repairs during the last 25 years. The scope of work will include the removal and proper disposal of the current pumping system, as well as the installation of the new system, including a control panel.
Thank you. Can I have a motion?
Your Honor, I'll move to approve Resolution 23R64 as presented.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Follak and a second by Councilman Blakesley to approve Resolution 23-R-64 as presented. Are there any comments, questions? Call the roll.
Councilmember Fairst?
Yes.
Councilmember Ayers?
Yes.
Councilmember Woods?
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Councilmember Follak?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis?
Yes.
Mayor Herbst?
Yes, and the motion carries 7-0. We have one ordinance in its first reading, that being ordinance 23-24.
An ordinance creating a city fire insurance fund, providing a policy relating to such fund, and codifying same as Section 23410 of the Vandalia Codified Ordinances.
Thank you. Ms. Holloway?
Thank you. City Manager Wendt requested that Law Director McDonald draft this ordinance to empower the City of Vandalia to obtain a portion of fire insurance proceeds where there is a major loss. This type of ordinance is commonly used in other communities to help ensure that insurance proceeds are used to abate blight resulting from structure fire, to protect public safety, and to help prevent the need to appropriate tax dollars to abate such blight. If adopted, the City of Vandalia would be able to hold a portion of fire insurance proceeds in a fund to ensure that proceeds are used to tear down the building or repair it, whether by the owner or by the city. Law Director McDonald has submitted a revised provision as there were phrases that were omitted when presented at your last study session. These changes do not affect the substance of the ordinance, and it is recommended that this ordinance be approved by City Council in its first reading tonight. It is worth noting that this ordinance will not be enforceable at the Super 8 Motel, which recently had a structure fire. This ordinance will apply to all properties that are damaged by a fire after this ordinance takes effect.
All right. Thank you. Can I have a motion?
Make a motion that we approve ordinance 23-24.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Blakesley and a second by Councilwoman Fairst to approve ordinance 23-24 in its first reading. Are there any comments?
just that I've seen this work in other communities, and I'm glad that we're doing it as well. It really relieves the taxpayers from that burden and puts the onus back on to the property owner. So I'm glad to see this happen.
All right, thank you. Any others? Call the roll.
Councilmember Ayers,
Yes.
Councilmember Woods,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Follak,
Yes.
Councilmember Fairst,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lewis,
Yes.
Mayor Herbst.
Yes, and the motion passes 7-0. We have no ordinances in their second reading, nor do we have any ordinance or emergency ordinances. And that brings us to reports from boards and commissions. We have the Vandalia Arts Council meeting minutes of August 15th, along with the Planning Commission meeting minutes of August 22nd. Are there any comments? All right, that brings us to council comments. We'll begin with Mr. McDonald.
I have something tonight. My baby girl, who is now a senior, was accepted today to Kent State University's College of Nursing as a direct admit, which means she doesn't have to try to get in again in her junior year, and I can't be prouder.
Oh, good.
Wow.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
And that's all I have.
All right. Okay, Ms. Holloway.
Well, I can't top that, so nothing tonight. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Councilwoman Woods.
Nothing this evening.
Councilman Blakesley.
Well, several, and I'm sure others will talk about this as well. The ribbon cutting at Helke Park, it was delightful, as best could put. As Rich Hopkins said in his speech, that just before they cut the ribbon, you can't hold back 20-some kids from the playground. So as soon as the mayor had the children cut the ribbon, we stood back and off they went. You didn't want to be
Try
in the
not to
way,
get knocked
get
down.
run over, knocked over. So it was great use of the ARPA funds, and glad to see that area be used better. Open house was a great opportunity to see the firehouse and some of the things that the fire department does and showcase. And one of the items that we had was the blow-up house that indicates some fire prevention tips, so that was neat. And then lastly, as you know, I recently made a diplomatic trip to Germany on my own expense to represent the sister cities of Vandalia and of course, the city of Vandalia as well as, and this was the official cultural exchange visit. The visit was renewed, many bonds and with individuals that we've had friendships over since 1976, and of course, me personally since 2005. On the fifth day there, I attended a welcome ceremony conducted by the city staff of Lichtenfels. The mayor, or the burgermeister, Andre Hugere, I had to practice that when I was over there quite a bit, wanted me to be sure to send his warm, heartfelt greetings to all Vandalia on behalf of the city of Lichtenfels. And he also gifted this pictorial book of Lichtenfels that he wanted me to present to the mayor. And perhaps we can display this somewhere inside the city lobby for a while, and I know there's a display out front. What I say pictorial because even though there's words in here, it's in German, so unless you know German, or, then you just look at the pictures and get a feel for, the city. Understand, too, that Lichtenfels, and the reason it's our sister city is that it's the same population, the same weather pattern. It was in the same weather as it was here, there, et cetera, and the people feel like family, so it feels just like home. And in fact, many of us call it our second home. The neat thing about this book, you can translate it if you take your phone, and I learned this in Germany, that you hit Google, you hit translate, and you can hold it over the book, and it will translate it in real time. So it was real nice to be able to do that on menus and things like that. So to paraphrase Mayor Hugere during his presentation, he said that President Eisenhower got it right by creating an international organization that connects people to people in a global setting. To quote the mayor, when we make bonds with others, it helps eliminate the need for conflict and wars, and I couldn't agree 100% more. He wishes us a prosperous year's end, and in 2025 is the 50th anniversary of the signing of Walt Laken, Vandalia's mayor, Walt Laken, who signed the resolution between the two cities. However, it's our hope that we see him, that the mayor and others, in 2006, or 26, I should say, for the 50th anniversary of the first visit. So that'll be interesting. At that time, we'll open a time capsule. And anyone else that wishes any additional information, just feel free to reach out to me. But we'll pass this down to the mayor, and on behalf of Mayor Burgermeister Andres Hugari.
All right, thank you. Councilman Foley.
Yeah, just a couple things. One, to echo Councilman Blakesley's comments about both Helke Park and the fire department open house. Kudos to both the Division of Fire and the Parks and Rec Department. Both excellent events. I think the parks, it's great to see us starting to reinvest into our aging parks, and that's the first of several playgrounds. I know the sports complex is a few weeks away, but great events on both days. I want to recognize Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. Mr. Clark sends out a update on the months that we don't meet, and the September update came out, and in there he recognized a long-term Vandalia resident, former educator, and dedicated employee to Vandalia, and that's Roger Pratt. But Roger Pratt is finally hanging up his hat that he's worn in many capacities in the Parks and Recreation Department for 58 years. So the fact that he's worked for Parks and Rec for 58 and has really been instrumental in a lot of adult and youth programs over those years. So congratulations to Mr. Pratt on his well-deserved retirement. And also over the weekend, and I noticed coming in today, Mrs. Becky Wells, who is Rudy Wells' wife, for those residents that have visited the municipal building or the sports complex or the rec center this summer have seen the planters out front that were absolutely amazing. I mean, it was a piece of art. And I ran into Becky at the playground ribbon cutting, and she immediately grabbed her phone and told me that she had just been out taking all the flowers out and then planting fall decor and all the planters. So when I came in today, you could see that, but she truly is, she volunteers her time for that and does a great job sprucing up some of our facilities. So thank you to Mrs. Wells. And the last thing I have is just to congratulate our city manager, Dan Wendt, who it was announced today has been selected as the Business Professional of the Year from the Vandalia Butler Chamber of Commerce. And I know that he's going to be recognized later this fall, but they released that today, so congratulations to him. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Forrest.
Wow. I wasn't able to go to the open house at the fire department on Sunday, but I'm sure it was enjoyable for everyone. Meeting everybody out at the playground and watching the kids enjoy the new facility at Helke was really enjoyable as a community, I think. I want to invite everybody to come to Fall Festival. It's Saturday, October 14th at the Art Park. Aaron Messenger puts a lot of effort into having vendors and community groups out there doing different projects. Rotary will be there with their Frisbees, but all the other groups will be there also, and it goes along 6 hours, so it starts at 12, goes through to 6, and it has music and food trucks and so forth, so come out and have a nice time. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Ayers.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Vice Mayor Lewis.
Nothing other than say, I did enjoy the ribbon cutting for the park, and parks have advanced quite a bit over the years. It would behoove you, if you haven't seen it, to stop by. The surface is actually very spongy, and this creation for kids to play on is really pretty amazing. And thank you to Mr. Blakesley here for his participation in the sister cities. And it's been a very strong program for years and years and years, and I'm glad we were well represented. And that's all I have, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Well, I think everyone has touched on the items that I had, so I'm not going to repeat them, but this meeting is adjourned.